believe conspiracy theories, while the philosophy deals primarily with what a conspiracy theory actually is. Second, historical research on the political, social, religious, and other developments that can create circumstances conducive to conspiratorial thinking. The history shifts the questions away from the individual to the level of society as a whole. And third, the actual writings of conspiracy theorists and their followers. These, although often disturbing, can provide visceral insight into both the thought processes of conspiracists and their perceived social circumstances. Taken together, these different approaches yield a new and, I believe, deeper analysis of conspiracism and the theories it generates than has been available before. Problems of definition. Conspiracists, that is to say those whose belief system is conspiracism, have a predilection, perhaps even the need, to see conspiracies behind events, and not just major events such as the Kennedy assassination or the 9/11 attacks, when doubt and suspicion are widespread. Conspiracists consistently find conspiracies where others do not. For example, the creation of non-binding recommendations for sustainable growth at the 1992 Rio Earth Summit was a thoroughly routine event. But many conspiracists view what they call Agenda 21 as the work of global communism, or part of an evil plot to have 90% of the world's population murdered by abortion and aborting life by disease, famine, war, wrecking of the economy, industry, technology, giving vaccines and medicines which give a slow death. Even more prosaically, while the introduction of barcodes in 1974 barely qualifies as an event, religious conspiracists continue to warn that those black lines on every product you buy signal a satanic conspiracy. There need not even be an event to inspire conspiracist thinking. The contrails of jet aircraft crisscrossed the skies for decades as a non-event before conspiracists began to claim that they were really chemtrails, secretly laced with pathogens, chemicals, and fungi by the government to poison or stupefy the citizenry. In 1965, historian Richard Hofstadter wrote that the distinguishing thing about the paranoid style is not that its exponents see conspiracies here and there in history, but that they regard a vast or gigantic conspiracy as the motive force in historical events. It may not be necessary to go quite this far. People can compartmentalize their thinking and hold conflicting ideas associated with different belief systems. Nevertheless, conspiracism as a belief system is generally very broad and influences its adherents' thinking across many subjects. Conspiracism is also distinctive as a belief system for two reasons. First, it is inherently negative. Conspiracists fear and oppose the conspiracies they envision because those conspiracies are invariably aimed at destroying their way of life. Hence the struggle against the unending stream of Illuminati, Zionists, forces of Satan, or Lucifer, mind controllers, and the global elite ensconced in its many secret societies. Second, conspiracism as a belief system lends itself to obsessiveness. Conspiracists seem much more aware of their belief system than most people are, leading them to consciously apply it to events on a daily basis. The manifestation of conspiracism is, of course, the conspiracy theory. In principle, the idea of conspiracy theory seems straightforward, and most people think that they would recognize one without difficulty. But the term conspiracy theory has been so poorly defined and so loosely used as to become useless, if not actually misleading. Some research has confounded conspiratorial beliefs with beliefs that are merely unconventional or about offbeat topics, such as the prophecies of Nostradamus or the curse of Tutankhamun. Worse, people have been counted as adherents of conspiracy theories on the basis of their views about normal historical incidents, such as John Brown's raid on Harper's Ferry, or the charges that Anita Hill and others brought against Clarence Thomas during his Supreme Court confirmation hearings. An early study of conspiracism among African Americans in the South concluded that they had a surprisingly strong belief in most conspiracy theories involving government. Over 85% of respondents agreed or strongly agreed that African Americans are harassed by police because of their race, and that the criminal justice system is not fair to blacks. Using such commonplace observations about racism in society as evidence for conspiracist thinking can only undermine research. More recently, a much-noted 2013 survey conflated non-conspiratorial questions about politics with ones about space.